Hi, I'm Max here at Leaders RPM, and today we're installing a Can-Am winch on a Can-Am Defender. The parts today that we are using are the Can-Am winch, 4 bolts. You also have a regular washer and a lock washer, and then you have your contactor, which comes with the wire for the wired remote, your powers and grounds. When installing a winch or anything electrical on your unit, make sure to disconnect the battery first. When installing this winch, when you get it, comes with a zip tie here around the hook eyelet. Cut that, and then make sure it's in free spool and pull it out just a little bit. Then you're gonna feed the winch through the bumper here. Make sure you don't get your eyelet caught, so then you can feed it through. 4 holes here. That line up with the winch feet, and that takes a 13mm socket. Don't forget your washers. And then again, I'm using a 13mm to tighten this up. Oops. When installing your hook, make sure you put your black puck on first, just about to the end of the eyelet. Hook. Yeah. And then your cotter pin. This wire here is your yellow and blue wire that goes down to the winch. So you go through this little hole right here, and then right towards the bottom. Come on. There's a little hole right here. These wires go right into. And then at the very end, you can color cord these wires to on the winch. For now, I'll just leave them hanging until we get the contactor in. So on your contactor, in the wiring harness kit, there comes the wiring harness for the remote. And these wires obviously have to go on top. So what you can do, as these are kind of chunky, you can bend these up just a little bit. Just make it easy, and then color correspond. Alright, green. And blue. Okay, and now, to make this easy, yellow, blue. Yellow is always taped yellow. Goes like so. Blue like so. And I forgot my nuts over there. I'll be right back. Okay, so a little force, push these down. Get this wire out the way. This is your ground. There's a little negative here. And this is your positive. A little positive here. Red, positive, black. They fit like a puzzle piece. Sometimes it's a little difficult for everything to coincide. Come on. And then grab your nuts that come in the kit, and then lightly screw them on there for right now until you get everything situated. Okay, and then this contactor does, you can kind of see, there's a little slot there that it sits in when you're pushing it down. So all it does is literally just sits in there, and then we have a screw for this side. And don't forget your tiny little gold screw that goes right here to hold it in place. It is a 7mm head. All these gold nuts are a 10. All 4 of them, I think. Don't forget to match these four with these four. These are already here by the harness. Pull them right out. And again, color coordinate. And make sure you get the little clip. All right, cool. And this will come in later. But for now, we'll move to the inside and wire that up. When installing your switch tying harness, pull this off. Sometimes it's a little tough, but give it a yank, it'll come off. Just lay this to the side. Don't forget to plug this back in. We'll go over that. So here is your power and ground. You're gonna take this power and ground and match it there. Don't forget to take your red tape off. It's on there usually pretty tight. Okay, now your button harness. I like to just feed it through. Okay, everybody. Just like that. Remember, red on red, black on black. And then again, your 10 gold nuts on there. Okay, and then we'll tighten those up. But before I forget, and don't you forget, to match these up with the same ones that you match the other ones up with. So it's all the same. Black and red, white and red. Try that. Okay. And we can tighten these up. Okay, now that you have your wire nuts all tight and everything, one of these or on the other side, it's up to you, however you wire it. Okay, we'll do that one. Set this right in there. Push. When attaching your button, the squeezy is always at the bottom, the clip. Attach it at the top there. Just like that. Take your keys, turn it on, and make sure it comes on. And now we have to attach our wires at the winch to make sure we have the in and out function. So remember, yellow goes to yellow, white goes to white. And you can see that they have a bend in them. And then washer and nut. This one is a little bit harder to get the washer and nut on. And those are 10 mil bolts that you have to tighten down as well. Put the little sock over. And then there's a Christmas tree zip tie right here. And underneath here, there's a little hole. Also, on the inside here, way over here, there's also another hole for a Christmas tree. And you can do it from the inside. And now make sure to test your winch, make sure she works. In some of the winch kits comes a remote in and out. When installing your remote for your winch, it goes right here. So it's just like this. But first you have to drill a hole right here to fit these wires through and come out. So the drill bit I prefer to use is a 3/16 small little drill bit. And you don't have to get too deep, just right in the middle between these two screw holes. Okay, it's a good pilot hole. I like to use a 3/8 drill bit, and you drill right in between these two screw holes here. Right in the middle. Not too deep, nothing crazy. Clean her up. Then you're gonna take your 3 wires, feed them in. Might have to do 1 at a time, 2 at a time. Then the trick is to come out of this hole here. It's kind of like a little game. Okay. Pull that all the way, all the way. And this sits right there. Come on. And you can screw that in, and then I will show you how to pin the 3 pigtails. And screw 2. And just those ones till they're snug. When running the pigtails in, you want red in the A, green in the B, black in the C. Trust me, they're on there. You might not be able to see them, but they're on there. And you just literally just put them in. You'll hear them click. And you can give them just a little tug test, make sure they sit. And then close your cap. And now you're ready to install the remote. So I have it right here. This plugs into the wiring harness on the contactor. Okay. Then your remote plugs into here. And there's a little block that matches up. Okay. Turn your machine on. And make sure your winch works. Alright, and that is how you install a Can-Am winch on a Can-Am Defender. Make sure you click the link in the description below to order yours today.